This is our pumpkin, grown by the wonderful potty plotters, and all we've done is taken off the lid, scooped out the top, scooped out the insides. We have just lined it with an old carrier bag and popped in there just literally an old jam jar. So it's got some wood. So we've got a few fresh flowers that are going to go. We've got lots and lots of dried as well. So your dried, obviously, they're already dead. They will last for forever and a day. Your fresh actually need a water source. So there's so many different ways you can do pumpkins. You can literally just take the lid off and just create, and that's where you can go really tall. You could do some really nice tall designs. Just discard the lid and that's it, and just fill it, and you can have a really big design. You can do what we've done, which is suspend the lid, because I like the lid. I think the sort of quirkiness it gives you, it's sort of a little bit of a nod, and also it means that I can fill all the way round, and I've still got plenty of space to pop things in. So I'm going to go almost a bit of an asymmetric design. So I've just popped these two dry pieces in here. I'm going to put some more, and then I'm going to pop some coming out here, and then have the focal flowers in at the front. So all I'll do, I'll fill the back here just with some ancillary bits and pieces, because Julia and Elaine have given me lots of beautiful things to work with. And at the front, I'm just going to build it up, and I'm going to think about texture, I'm going to think about colour, I'm going to think about space, and so negative space and open space. I'm going to think about the shape I'm going for, and I've already thought that I would like this to go almost in the corner. So, as I say, it's going to be sort of like an asymmetric design, and this will just sit back in the corner. Okay, so we'll get going. So if you're using anything that's fresh, so we've got this beautiful sedum, and all I'm going to do is pop it in there. So we're not using any Oasis with this design. This is solely going to be fully biodegradable. So really you're sort of looking at where you want your colours to be, your focal flowers. So I'm going to put my focals in here, which is just a couple of these yellow carnations, a couple of the sedums, and I think behind me I've got some lovely. So you just make sure when you're doing this, if you just clear your stems for nothing more, it will make your flowers last longer, and also it just makes it easier going into the chicken wire that we've got here. Again, if you decide you're going to pop and get some, excuse me for 1 second, if you're going to go and get some Oasis from the range or Hobbycraft or your local florist, it is much easier because you'll have your Oasis sat there and you'll push in. What you don't need to do is start pushing in and out. So don't start digging like that. One straight clean push, so you want nice clean stems. So we're just gonna pop these bits in. I have no idea what it looks like at the moment, because from behind it looks a real mess. However, we just keep working away, and the joy of things like pumpkin making and things like wreath making as well. You know, at Christmas time, this is your design. You can do with it whatever you choose. I love using spike forms. So when I talk about forms, it's all to do with what emotions they evoke. So you can imagine if I had a wedding bouquet that had all very spiky things, it's quite an angry, and that's what you want for Halloween. You want it to be a bit scary, a bit of a ghoul. But for, say, like, as I say, like a wedding or say a funeral, unless that's the vibe that they're going for, you want more softer. So you want more rounded shapes, you want more sort of, you know, textural like that. We've got some thistles here as well. So these are quite angry, they're quite sharp. So think about the materials that you're using, but just have fun. And if you're doing it with your children or your grandmas or anyone that you're doing this with, just have fun, get some ghoulie music on. And what we're looking for here, you can see where I've put the sticks in, and I'll have a look at the front in a minute. We're looking to disguise those. So we obviously, it's all within floristry, a lot of it is hiding your mechanics. So the mechanics of a bouquet, we use, I don't think that's going to look like that, but I can't 100% see it. We use floristry tape to tape up designs, or whether it be bouquets or anything like that. And you don't want that on show because it's just unsightly and it's boring. So that's why, again, just talking about a wedding, you would wrap that in some sort of ribbon to cover it. So that's all about hiding your mechanics and not being afraid to sort of throw some of your own personality into things as well. Right, I am going to have a look around here now. So yep, so I can see I've got a nice big gap there. So, what have we got over there? Oh, we've got some lovely status over there. Dried status. Thank you, Elaine and Julia, for doing that. So dried status is one of my favourites. I love it. And I'm going to go and get some in a minute and pop some in. So you see the spike onto the eryngium or thistle. It gives you that scary. That's what we're looking for at this time of year. We're looking for a bit of a scary look. Works well for me. Pop that in and try and use whatever you can, whatever you've got available. You don't need to spend a lot of money doing things like this, because realistically you probably only need it for a week or two. So the status, we're going to just have some popping out of the top. I'm sorry about my head keep being in the way. There was method in my madness, to be fair. I got up very early today to get all my orders done and delivered and conditioned, because we've got a big wedding on Friday as well. So a lot of the flowers have come in for that. And I knew I needed to get here, so I didn't want to do my hair.
Oh, you thought you'd made the effort.
Yeah, I have, mate, I have. But there was a little bit of thought process going, I haven't got time to do my hair. And if I'm being videoed, you know, my children might see this one day. I don't want them to be ashamed of me. Well, more ashamed than they already are. So, if you can just see there, so this is starting to come together now. And you can, the nice thing about using chicken wire, and you don't really want to be doing it when you're using Oasis, is that you can move things, and it's fine, because you've got that water source under here. And just think about the actual design, think about the spread of your colour. That's really important. So if you've got these yellows, you don't want them bunched together, and that is a design. It's called bunching. Really clever. But you don't necessarily want to do that. You want to try and spread them out a bit. So here's one of Elaine's little pumpkins. How sweet is that? So all I've done is shove a stick up its bum. and so that will give you that ability to then use it, because we don't want it hidden. It's super cute, and all you're going to do is find where it can stick there. Now you'll have these bigger ones. I would have these, personally, I'd have these on my table, so I'd have them around like that, just scattered around, giving it some real nice design. Again, what I mentioned earlier on the actual podcast was just be aware that if you are using fruit and veg as add-ons or anything like that. So I'm going to move this because I love the, what's it called? Is it the trunk?
Stem.
The stem. That's it. Just that basic word. Just 4 letters. Yes, the stem. I don't want to hide that when I'm looking at this from the front. I don't want it to be hidden. So I nearly put that in there and thought, no, I don't want to hide that. So I'm going to put this down here. Just, you see how this is coming round now, and you're starting to see the actual shape of the design. So we've got some bits sticking out, we've got sort of, you know, bits, there's lots of really much better words than I can give you right now. Bits sticking up, bits sticking out, but just play with it, just have a look at what you want. So this, to me, looks a little bit like fireworks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the time we're coming into. I would certainly be popping a little bit more of sedum in. Sedum.
Sedum.
Certain words in life that you just can't say, isn't there? There is
No.
for me. Just for
No,
me.
we can't say no.
Just me then. Yeah, no is one of those words to Elaine when I'm in Budapest. That's right. Yes. You learn, don't you? You learn not to answer your text to Elaine after you've had a pint or two of beer. Right. So, I think. So, I'd like to introduce some of the status, the purple status. So I'm just going to look at it and just see if it looks right. So I'm going to pop some into here, just to break that up. So you can see here with what we're doing, we're going with different sizes, different shapes, different textures, just to give that real interest. And sometimes you just have to have a little piddle around to see, that's it, if you can get it in the hole. All we're doing here now is just giving it a bit of a few bits of a finish. Don't worry about the back too much, certainly not with this one. This is going up against the side of the wall. And I'm just going to have a very quick look at the front. Nope. So I want something coming down here. And the joy of this is that this is already dried. I use this like it's going out of fashion at the moment, because everybody at the minute wants autumn bouquets, things like that, whether it's a get well soon or an anniversary. So everybody wants the autumns, and these just give you the positive space. So when you start putting long things, you'll see that lots of florists do it, and it's how we're all trained. You start putting longer items into a design. If you don't have these longer bits, your design looks small. You put these longer bits out that are sticking up, bits here, bits there. They're in there for a reason. They're in there to give the illusion that the design is much bigger than what it actually is. And it works a treat. Okay. What does that look like from the front, guys?
That looks lovely.
Do we like it?
Yeah.
A little bit in there. So this is very much a very cute front facing design that you could just have by your front door. You could have it say in your kitchen, you know, at the corner of your kitchen, next to your kettle, anything like that, and it's taken what, 10 minutes, something like that. Not a huge amount of material, pumpkins are cheap, bit of chicken wire's cheap. That's it, go for it, enjoy it, people.
Subscribe to the Plotcast now. Search Potty Plotters Plotcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and click follow to never miss an episode.